Hello, Roka International School children. How are you all? It's good to be here with you once again. Welcome back to class. This is grade 6 science class e-learning. So today we are going to look at ways of conserving water in the home, school, and in the community. But before we continue, I would like us to talk a little about the last quiz we wrote. I was shocked the number of people who failed the quiz. The pass mark was 60%, and a lot of you failed. The truth of the matter is, immediately you finish doing your quiz and you submit it, the results is right in front of me on my laptop. And I could see, I think just one girl called Adjoa Asiedua, who was able to score 14 out of 15 questions, so 93%. I was surprised. But you see, if you do not participate in the e-learning, you do not go through the e-learning, you don't take notes, you don't consciously listen to lessons, there is no way you can score the quiz. So you have to consciously sit down and go over all the lessons, all the notes before you go and write the quiz. As I tell you, you will fail and you will not be happy. You will not be happy with your marks. So I would advise that you sit up and then this last period, put all your strength in it and learn hard and pass your quiz. There was a question which says that the spinning of the sun on its own axis is what we call rotation. And a lot of people choose true, true, true. I was shocked. You see, spinning of the sun. Does the sun spin? It was one of my trickish questions, and I got everybody. Almost everyone failed that question because you all chose true. Spinning of the sun. Spinning of the sun. You see? So if you don't take care, you don't read the question and understand very well, and you want to choose anything, the question may be true or false, but you will fail. So you have to take your time, read over the question again and again, understand before you choose your answer. Good. I wish you all the best. Let's go and enjoy ourselves with another interesting topic: ways of conserving water in the home, school, and community. Everybody uses water at home. Everybody. When you wake up in the morning, you use water. You use water till even at night. What are some of the things we use water for at home? Ponder over it as we delve into the lesson. So some key words we have to notice are conserve, water conservation, unclean water, save, water, water purification, filtration, sedimentation, boiling, and alum. So when we say conserve, what is the meaning? To conserve means what? To conserve. To conserve means to maintain or to preserve, to keep in a safe or sound state. To maintain, to preserve, or to keep in a safe or sound state. So water conservation simply means to keep water or to maintain water, okay, without you misusing it, so that there will be enough for the next generation to use. Unclean water is is self-explanatory. Unclean water is water that have impurities in it. And then safe means something that is safe to use. Water, we all know water, water purification, filtration. I'm going to talk about all this in the next slide. So follow me. Introduction. Water is a liquid substance that is very important to every living thing. Without water, plants and animals cannot survive, including human beings. The human body is made up of about 70% of water. Our body loses some of this water when we sweat, urinate, defecate, or even breathe. In order for our body to function well, we must always make sure we drink enough water. Before we drink water, we must make sure the water is clean and it is of good quantity. So as we talk about water, I want us to look at some qualities of good drinking water. So these are things you know because you drink water every day. So we say good drinking water has no taste. Good drinking water has no particles. Good drinking water has no germs. Good drinking water does not smell. Good drinking water has no color. That is, it is colorless. So let me ask you, the water you drink, does it have taste? Any water that have taste is not a good drinking water. Some of the pure water, you realize that you are drinking it and then there's some kind of taste in it, having some weird taste. You can't drink it. It is not drinkable. You don't feel like drinking it. So any good drinking water that has taste is not actually a good drinking water. How do we make unclean water safe for use? When water becomes unclean, how do we make it safe for use? So in order to make unclean water safe for use, we need to purify it. So the process used to make unclean water clean is known as water purification. We have several ways we can purify water, but I would like us to delve on this or settle on this four. The first is sedimentation, second, boiling, third, filtration, and then the fourth one, addition of alum. Sedimentation, boiling, filtration, and then the fourth is addition of alum. When we say sedimentation, what is sedimentation? So before I continue, I want to give you this quick activity. I want us to write a short note under the following to test your understanding. 1. Sedimentation, boiling, filtration, addition of alum, and decantation. Good. Now, the first point and the last point, I want to talk briefly on them. But the second, third, and fourth, I believe you have some knowledge about it. Sedimentation and decantation. Now, if you look on the screen, the first photo, you realize that there is a water in a disposable cup, which is extremely dirty. The second object, you realize that the dirt in the water is gradually settling down. And then you can also observe that in the third picture, in the same disposable cup, the dirt has actually gone very down. Now, so the settlement of dirt in water is known as sedimentation. When there is dirt in water and you put it down for the dirt to settle down, that is called sedimentation. And then decantation is the process by which you pour out, after sedimentation, the process by which you pour out the clean water from the sediment, that is from the dirt, leaving the dirt under it, is decantation. the process by which you pour out the clean water from the dirt is known as decantation. So I believe this is very clear to you. Sedimentation, decantation. Boiling, you do boiling every time at home. Filtration is very common. So you write something later about this point and present it to me. So we're looking at some activities in the home and community that requires water. We engage in a lot of activities both at home and in the community that requires water. And I believe you know some of them. What do we use water for at home and in the community? One, we use water to cook. We use water to wash our clothes. We use water to wash utensils. We use water to wash cars. We use water to clean the floors of the house. We use water to flush the toilet. We use water for showers. We use water at the restaurant industry, for agriculture purposes, for the hospital industry, for electricity generation. We use water for a lot of things. I believe you can mention some of them that are not here. So water is used for a lot of things. Our life actually depends on water. If you don't have water at home, it will be very difficult to engage in a lot of activities because we use water every day of our life. And even in this time of the pandemic, water is very important in every school, in every home, because you require to wash your hands regularly. You are required to wash your hands regularly so that you will not carry any virus in your hand and then get it closer to your nose or mouth. So water is very important, and how clean it is equally important, because you cannot use contaminated water to do all these things. You cannot use contaminated water to cook. You can't use it to wash your hands. You can't use it at a restaurant or at a hospital. So the water we use actually need to be very clean. So now let me ask, what is water conservation? I have two definitions. The first one says that water conservation includes all the policies, the strategies, and activities to sustainably manage the natural resource of fresh water, to protect the hydrosphere, and to meet the current and future human demand. I think the words are big, eh? You can find the definitions of all these words, those that have been highlighted. Water conservation includes all the policies, strategies, and activities to sustainably manage the natural resource of fresh water, to protect the hydrosphere, and to meet the current and future human demand. And then the next point is water conservation simply means to use water wisely in order to avoid wastage. So it means that water conservation requires strategy or policies. We need to do certain things to be able to conserve water. Using water wisely, it means that there are some things we have to do so that we avoid wastage of water. What are some of the things we have to do? I hope you know them. There are some people who go under the shower, open the shower, and forget about themselves. They actually forget they are bathing. The water will flow and flow and flow for an hour. They are still bathing. I wonder if they have not bathed for a whole year. So they are taking time to wash all the dirt on their body. But that is the way of actually wasting water. And research has shown that every home at least uses a lot of water, especially on flushing the toilet and shower. It uses a lot of water flushing the toilet and for shower. A lot of water. So we have to pay close attention to that. So we will pause here and then we look at this critical thinking. We are writing down just 5 do's and don'ts at home or in the community in order to conserve water. What are some of the do's and don'ts to be able to conserve water either at home or in the community? Try and write just 5 for me, in addition to the explanation of those points. All the best. See you. Bye bye.